Hi there, content creators and productivity enthusiasts. I'm using a new setup here, so I hope you like it. But I'm here to ask you whether or not you are ready to supercharge your workflow and take your content creation to the next level. In this video, I'm going to be diving into ClickUp Dashboards, your ultimate tool for visualizing data and staying on top of your game. Let's get started. So first up, what is a dashboard? Well, a dashboard is something that you as the user can customize so you see everything that you need to see in one place. So here you're actually looking at your ClickUp Besties to-do list. So here I have my to-do list of everything that I need to actually work on. And then down here, I have all my possible content that I can choose from. Now, this is just how I set up my dashboards, but you can set them up in any way you want. So let's start off by showing you how to create a dashboard and what sort of information you can put into it. So the first thing that you need to do is go over to the left hand side of ClickUp where it says dashboard, and you need to come over to the plus key and press that plus key, and this will give you a basic dashboard that you can start to customize. So you have some templates that you can use and have a play with these and see whether or not they're useful for you. But I'm actually going to start at one all the way from scratch. So I'm going to come down to this button down here and start from scratch. Now, the first thing that I have is a whole load of cards that I can add to my dashboard. So here you can see that you've got workload by schedule, status or calculations or task by signees. These are the featured lot, but you can even go down and look at specific one. These are the AI cards if you're using AI on ClickUp. Here's all the statuses ones and all the tags. So you can see that you can put together a range of different cards. Okay, I am going to start off by picking a task list. So I'm going to go over to this one here that says task list, and I'm going to press that. And at this point, I have the option about which task list I want. So if you come over here to this search area, you can either click a whole space here. So this is all my content creation space. Or what we can also do at this point is that we can open this and filter down. So you can see here that I am going to click all my ClickUp Bestie task list here, everyone. You probably would be a lot more specific about this, but let's see how it's actually done. Okay then, so here you have the option to actually show task locations, and then you have a filter to include show closed, show archived, or set up your own filter here. So I'm going to say I want to show task locations, and I'm also going to set up a filter, and I'm going to say the statuses is not, I'm going to say is not closed, okay, or completed. So I don't want, if they're closed or completed, I don't want them in this list. And then I can add the card, and lo and behold, here we have all the statuses, all the tasks that I've got in all those task lists. So now that I've got this card or this widget in place, I also have the option to change the size of it. So I can come down to this area here to the edge where I get the double-headed arrow, and I can drag this to make it bigger. I can do the same at the bottom, and also notice you can see when you start to drag a little sort of like grid that appears behind that you can sort of like see where you're going to actually drag your card to. You can also move the card. So rather than making it bigger or slimmer, you can actually move it. And you can do that by going up to the top left-hand point of the task list, and just here, when I'm not zoomed in, there'll be those little 6 buttons that you can actually drag. So if I actually come up here, you can see them just there. I'll just see whether or not I can zoom in. There you go. You can see them just here. And then once you've got that, you can pick that up and you can move it wherever you want. You also have the option to rename the card. So I can rename this Everything I Need to Do. But of course, you would use correct capitalization. Okay, so I'm going to call it My Jobs. There you go. Now, the other thing that you can set up is that you can set up a task list that has a filter to it. And I use this a lot to decide what I'm going to be working on. So if I just left click and drag this over here so it's out of the way. If I go back to my ClickUp dashboard up here, you'll notice here that this is all the possible content that I can have. But here, these are what I'm actually working on at the moment. And I can tell that I'm working on them because of this priority button that or flag that I've allocated here. So my sort of like work process is that when I'm looking at what I want to create, I go down all the possible options down here that I've got saved, and I will click and actually select a blue flag for them. And as soon as I press the blue flag, it will come over here. So this is actually another task list. Okay. And what I've done here is that I've set up that to look at all those tasks again, but this time just pick up the priority that is the blue flag. So let me see if I can show you this. Here we go. So we would add a card and we're going to choose a task list, and we're going to say again, I want everything in your ClickUp bestie. Here it is. But this time I'm going to add a filter, and I'm going to say that I want priority is, and I just underneath me at the moment, but you should be able to see, is the flag. And that's the filter that I'm going to say, and then I'm going to say add card. And you can notice then that only the tasks that have that blue flag is coming up there. Okay, so if I go back to my actual data collection here, you can see this is the filter that's picking up that. And then I have here show task locations on. So this here allows me to see which area it's actually on. So for this next bit, I've actually moved my camera down so you can see what's actually happening. You might find that there's a bit of a difference between my dashboard here and the one that we're setting up, in the sense that this to-do list here seems to not have all the different lists on. So it doesn't say ClickUp list. It's not sorted in lists. So let me show you how to do that. So if you go to your dashboard, this is the one that we just set up, and we're going to go to the cog, which is just up here. This is where we're going to go. And then we're going to press that cog and come over to where it says group. Okay, just over here. And what we're going to do is that we're going to come to that group and click on it. And just underneath it, you can see that it says, let me just zoom in again for you. you can see that it says also group by list. And what we need to do is uncheck that. Okay. And then you'll find then that when we go back to it, we've now got them so we can see everything. They are actually ordered via status at the moment. So ready, in progress, ideas, etc. So what we can actually do there is come over to this status button here and change how we're going to group the tasks. Now, this is completely up to you, but it actually took me a while to find this out. I could actually change this and ask them to be grouped via the blue flag. If I do that, priority, and say ascending with the blue flag, it looks like this. And you can see here, these are all the blue flag ones. However, there is another way to do it. You can come into the group by, and when you've got the status here or anything else, you can just click this little dustbin here. And it took me a while to find this. And what that allows you to do is to remove all the grouping, so you just see it plain and simply like that. So just to reiterate what I would do in my workflow, I would come along here, I would click on the projects that I would like to work on for my next month of content creation. They will appear here, and then I can work through, so you can see that this video, when I do what I do when things go wrong, that's all ready to be published. I hope that was interesting, and I hope you got something from it. If you do have any questions, do put them in the comments below. And yes, if you would like to see a video all about using statuses in ClickUp to help with your content creation, then watch this video next.